Hello everyone, welcome to Global English Tips with me, Umam. Today we're going to talk a little bit about IELTS speaking strategy. Well, in my class, lots of students ask me, Sir, how to get band score 7 in IELTS speaking? Well, for some people it may sound rather difficult, but I tell you what, it can be attainable. It is completely achievable. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that today. First of all, in IELTS speaking test, you are expected to speak fluently and coherently, by which I mean without any noticeable effort whatsoever. That way, you might want to minimize the pauses and fillers. Do you still use them a lot? Like, or do you think too much while speaking? How to minimize those pauses and fillers? Practice makes perfect. You will need to find some friends to practice with. You will need to find some colleagues, maybe in your workplace. Try to invite them to speak in English regularly. The more you practice, the more you are capable of speaking English fluently. But you have to also remember that speaking is an output. You will need input for that, by which I mean you will need to enrich your vocabulary by listening or reading. So find some listening and reading materials from the internet. There are a lot, you'll find them. The next tip will be don't rush. A lot of students in my class who are already capable of speaking English fluently, they have some sort of urge to speak fast. They are obsessed to speak quickly. Probably it aims to impress the others or something, I don't really know. However, if you speak too fast, it will compromise your coherence. It will highly likely that you will lose focus and then drift away from the main point of the question. You will get off the topic, and you don't want that, of course, because it will definitely reduce the mark of your coherence. Next, show some emotions and intonations. Usually, when we speak in Bahasa, we of course involve our intonation, our emotions, by which I mean we show the ups and downs of our voice. The same thing also goes to English native speakers when they speak that language. It's a part of being natural, which is very crucial when you speak a certain language. If you speak in a flat intonation, well, you will sound robotic, you will sound like Google Voice or something, or Siri maybe, which is not exactly the attribute of human when they speak. We speak with gesture, we speak with emotion, we speak with intonation, which is very crucial for you to involve when you speak IELTS speaking test. Fourth tip is use idioms. When native English speakers speak English on daily basis, it is quite common for them to use idioms. Well, there are a wide range of idioms, so I would suggest you to start learning from internet. There are a lot. Well, to use idioms, you also need to show appropriate emotion and intonations for that. Otherwise, it may sound rather awkward. For example, my friend surprised me with a birthday present, and I was over the moon. Now compare that to this. Last week, my friend surprised me with a birthday present, and I was over the moon. That sounds weird. That sounds awkward. In order to say this, you have to show happy emotion. And that's the point, to be a natural English speaker. Next example is to sit on the fence. This means you have no idea what to choose between two or more options. For example, my father gave me two options, to work or to study. at a university. I was sitting on the fence for like 2 weeks, and then I decided to go to the university instead. Next is to go the extra miles. This means you have to do something with a certain target to achieve. However, you decide to go beyond that. For example, the university requires me to get band score 7.5 to apply. However, I decide to go the extra miles and get band score 7. Alright, the last example is run out of steam. This means that you are losing your enthusiasm in a certain work or some kind of activity, and etc. For example, living in a university was rather exciting at first, but then I realized that the assignments are just too much. They're just too hard to do, and I was running out of steam quite quickly back then. The last tip for today is to be aware of collocation. What is collocation? Well, it is how two or more words in English strung together which make natural English. For example, cheap price right here. Well, it's wrong. Usually we, as an Indonesian native speaker, usually just translate directly from Indonesian to English without really concerning the collocation. As I mentioned, this is wrong. The correct collocation should be low price. The same thing also when we say expensive price, well, that's also wrong. You should say high price. That's the correct one. The next is do a mistake. You don't do a mistake. You make a mistake. Mistake is something that you make, not you do. Alright. Then, interested to. This is wrong. Lots of students in my class say, I am interested to learn English. Well, that is incorrect. They are supposed to say interested in, and then plus gerund or some nouns. So the correct collocation should be, I am interested in learning English. The last example of collocation mistake, which can be quite common, is angry to. Well, lots of students in my class say, I'm angry to you. That is incorrect. It's wrong. The correct collocation should be, I angry with you. So it's supposed to use with instead of to. However, you might also say something like, I am mad or something, which means exactly the same as angry. But inconsistently, if you use mad, the collocation is different. You should use at rather than with. So it can be, I am mad at you instead of I am mad with you. It's different from angry. So yeah, that's the IELTS speaking strategy for today. If you want to learn more, you can come with us and study with Global English.